Well, here we go, back at it again with another SummerSlam video. It's 2013, Kanye had just dropped Yeezus, my city's mayor just admitted that he did crack.
Who was on crack?
Oh, and the WWE is actually having a solid year. What a plot twist. Yeah, so after a disappointing few years, sure, they had some bright spots, Undertaker's WrestleMania matches, the rise of CM Punk, but for some reason the content was just so dull and so boring for most of the time, and now I'm getting flashbacks to Cena vs. Laurinaitis. The WWE was having a solid year, but of course, somehow, someway, the company still managed to fumble WrestleMania. We got Cena vs. Rock 2 for absolutely no reason, and then we got Triple H vs. Brock Lesnar, which ended up in Brock Lesnar losing. Oh, and the World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania was legit, Jack Swagger vs. Del Rio. But still, 2013 the WWE was actually fun. The company was just taking chances instead of playing it safe. By the way, I'm talking about up until SummerSlam in 2013, because what happened after SummerSlam for a few months wasn't pretty. But from January to August, we saw Punk and Cena have a classic on a random Raw. We saw the Shield rise through the ranks and not only have great singles matches, but tag matches, 6-man matches. We saw Dolph Ziggler cash in his Money in the Bank in one of the best cash-ins in history. We saw Daniel Bryan and Kane put in work and saw Bryan become one of the most popular wrestlers in the world. And of course, we got Punk versus Taker. Listen, was it the best year in the company's history or something? No sir, but it was such an improvement from the past few years in so many ways that I found myself being hooked to WWE once again. They needed a show that people would remember. A show when you think of 2013, you remember that show. A show where important stuff actually happened. Other than Punk versus Taker, what important stuff happened at Mania? I'm the biggest Cena and Rock mark you'll ever meet, but even I didn't care about that match. Now, did the company make SummerSlam 2013 some super stacked show that was WrestleMania worthy from top to bottom? No. This show has 3 matches you should go out and watch, and in this video we're only going to be talking about 2, the main events. But on a side note, definitely go out and check out Christian vs. Del Rio, a great match with a hot crowd and a match that was really Christian's last great match of his legendary career. However, the thing is though, what really makes SummerSlam 2013 awesome is that the 2 main events are arguably 2 of the best WWE matches in 2013. It's rare in this day and age when a WWE card, especially one that isn't WrestleMania, gets 2 match of the year candidates on one show. However, this show got it. They finally had matches that people wanted to see and that people were excited for. You had Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk and Daniel Bryan versus John Cena. So what made these 2 matches so hyped that they overshadowed an entire 3-hour show? What made these matches so good that even 6 years later I'm still talking about them? Well, let's take a look. Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk. Need I say more? If that doesn't get you hyped up, how about Wolverine versus the Hulk? Or simply put, how about the Best versus the Beast? I remember being so hyped for this match. What a build! Paul Heyman and CM Punk went way back to 2005 in OVW, the WWE developmental territory, and after that to the relaunch of ECW in 2006 when Heyman made sure that Punk got a spot on the roster, and then CM Punk eventually went on to become a WWE champion and held the title for 434 days, and halfway through the reign, who became his advocate to help him stay champion? Paul Heyman. By the way, which was one of the best reveals ever. Undertaker and CM Punk have a feud. Who was right there by Punk's side? Paul Heyman. CM Punk countless times has said that he owes his career to Paul Heyman. However, as 50 Cent once said, enemies stay enemies, but friends they change. So in the June of 2013 at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, Paul Heyman turned on CM Punk and bashed a ladder in his head many times. It was a top 10 anime betrayal for sure. And what a moment it was. It was kind of like the death of a dynasty at that point. And then, CM Punk confronted Paul Heyman on Raw. And all Heyman had to say was, "Without me, you're not the best in the world." Punk is just staring at him, still shocked at what happened, how his own boy turned on him. And then all you hear is this. Brock Lesnar walks out. Whatever the relationship was, Punk was never the main priority. At the end of the day, he was just a summer fling. Brock Lesnar was always the real Paul Heyman guy. And now it was on. For weeks they fought, they brawled. Lesnar would destroy him every time, but Punk never gave up. Punk was down to die for this shit. It was gonna be a war, so we got it. Lesnar versus Punk, no disqualification at SummerSlam. If that doesn't get you hyped, I don't know what will. The crowd was hot for Christian and Del Rio, but now it was a heat wave. They went into this match and it was just so hype. They literally just destroyed each other. Lesnar would destroy Punk for the first few minutes, but Punk did not give up. Whatever Lesnar did in this match, Punk fought back, and somehow, someway, Punk figured out ways to fight back. The crowd was so into it. It had that big match feel. So many times you just hear the crowd go, "Oh." At one point, Lesnar had the Kimura lock on Punk, and Punk carried into an armbar and then a triangle choke. It was just beautiful. You know those matches that just feel different and just feel hype, that when you watch them you feel like you're a little kid again and you're just so invested into the match? This is one of them. So many times in this match, it looked like Punk died and somehow this man kept on fighting and fighting. So many cool spots, so many moments. You had weapons, MMA moves, high flying, power moves, announce tables getting clapped. It was mayhem. For 25 minutes, they legit killed each other. And the best part is, it wasn't some one-sided contest like most Brock Lesnar matches are. Brock put on a show. He was in the match and he was trying. It was great. Lesnar dominated the first 10 minutes of the match, which made Punk's comeback just much more exciting. And the best part is, like I said, it looked like Punk was actually close to winning. Not just by a pinfall, but by submission too. Yeah, you actually thought Brock Lesnar might tap out. Wow, man, matches like this make you remember why you love wrestling. I miss this Brock Lesnar and I miss CM Punk in the WWE. Dave Meltzer reported after this match that they went back and got a standing ovation, and if anyone deserves a standing ovation after a match, is these two, because they absolutely killed it. They tore down the house. Honestly, neither man lost this match. Sure, Brock Lesnar won the match because he hit the F5 on a chair and he got the 1-2-3, because when the dust was settled and CM Punk was walking to the back just limping, barely being able to stand, all you hear was a crowd just chanting his name. Both men walked away stronger, both men put on a show and the crowd loved it, everyone loved it. Definitely a classic. Technically this match got 4.5 stars out of Meltzer, but I'll be honest, this is 5 stars. Definitely go out of way to watch this match, and if you watch this match back then, watch it again because you'll forget how much of a classic this is. For some reason this match doesn't get brought up more often and I don't understand why. This is a classic, an all-time banger. I love this match. This match was just, it's timeless. This could be a match in any era, at any event, in any country, and it would be considered a classic. This could have main evented WrestleMania and people would have loved it. And we still had one more match after this, another match of the year candidate. So 2013 was the year of two people. CM Punk, of course, who had 3 of the top 5 matches of the year. The other person, Daniel Bryan. Even though SummerSlam 2013 was just the beginning of the wild ride for Bryan's quest to be WWE champion, thinking back to how we got to SummerSlam 2013 just makes me smile. Daniel Bryan began wrestling in 1999 and got signed by the WWF in 2000. He was sent to developmental and never made it to the main roster and eventually got released in 2001. He grinded the indies some more, and then WWE brought him back for 2 matches in 2003, but they never signed him. And by the way, he had to face someone named John Cena on Velocity. I don't know if you ever heard of him. After going back to the indies and grinding it out some more, he legit became considered one of the best wrestlers in the world before he was even with the WWE again. Countless classics all around the world, and he finally got signed by the company once again in 2009, and this is where it all began, again. He was brought on to be a rookie on the show NXT. He was a clear underdog on NXT to get behind. He didn't look like anyone else. He didn't talk like anyone else. He was just different, and the chemistry that he had with Miz, who was his pro, just made him much more likable. Then when he was eliminated, it built sympathy, and then he gets brought in with Nexus. He messes up and gets fired for choking Justin Roberts. When he was fired for such a small thing, it made people love him more. It built more sympathy. People started online petitions, they voiced their opinions, and the company listened once again and brought him back. The people loved him, the people rode for him, the people took care of him. Then during his career, he was still loved, the people never gave up on him, he just kept getting more popular and popular. He was funny, he was witty, he was a good wrestler, he wasn't afraid of making himself look dumb at times. He wasn't the typical superstar, you know, it was relatable, he was likable. So people always stuck with him. Even after losing in 18 seconds at WrestleMania 28, he became one of the most popular wrestlers in the company. It was organic, it wasn't pushed down their throats. Nobody told the fans to love him, they just did. He made his own chants, he created the no chants when he was a heel and then the yes chants when he was a face, a chant that has transcended wrestling, something so simple but so effective. So it's July of 2013, John Cena is a fighting champion who needs a match at SummerSlam, and an entire episode of Raw he goes around looking for his next challenger, and then he gets to pick who to wrestle. All night, all you hear is, Daniel Bryan. Yes, yes, yes. The fans wanted Daniel Bryan vs Cena so bad, but in the back of our minds, we knew that they wouldn't give it to us. There's no way. They held him back for so long. How would they put him up against John Cena? They wouldn't do it, right? Cena goes to the ring and he says it's time to choose his opponent. The whole roster is on the stage with all that talent on the stage and Cena in the ring. Who do the fans cheer for? Daniel Bryan. Yes, yes, yes. Cena names almost everyone on the stage and the pops are decent. And then he says, am I forgetting someone? And then the yes chants begin once again. John Cena looks dead straight into the camera and says, I select Daniel Bryan, and the crowd goes absolutely insane. Daniel Bryan and Cena have a stare down, and there we go. The main event of SummerSlam, Daniel Bryan versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. In the upcoming weeks, Vince appears on TV and starts his personal vendetta against Daniel Bryan. He's telling him, you're too small, you're a dwarf, you can't be champion. thus bringing in Triple H, who's on Daniel Bryan's side, and he fights for him and makes sure he gets that match. So Vince wanted to make Brad Maddox his assistant the referee of the match, and Triple H said, nah, I'll be the referee so it would be fair. So Cena versus Bryan with Triple H as a special guest referee. Cena at this point needed to take time off. He had a serious arm injury, which you can tell because his arm is so wrapped up during this match. So Bryan winning seemed like a real possibility going in, but at the end of the day, this was the WWE we're talking about, a vastly different company than the one we have now. There was no way they were going to let somebody the size of Daniel Bryan win, right? Like, we just didn't believe it. There's no way they'll let someone who even looks like Daniel Bryan win. The doubt was always there. And then, ladies and gentlemen, these men come out, the ovations are there, the crowd is popping, and they go out and they put on a classic. Cena, bad arm and all, still gave it his all, and Daniel Bryan rose to the occasion. The crowd was alive again. It was beautiful. This wasn't a no DQ match. There wasn't any weapons. This was a straight up wrestling match and they killed it. This is why I love this show. The two main matches are so different from each other and they're still both so fun. So Daniel Bryan weathered everything Cena threw at him. At one point, Cena had the STF locked right in the middle of the ring. Bryan tried to roll out of it and he was able to break free and apply the yes lock. Various times the fans were chanting during this match, "This is awesome." Eventually both men in the middle of the ring were slugging it out and started slapping each other, which ties into when Cena slapped Bryan during an interview a few weeks ago before the match. This match was perfect, and for 27 minutes they left it all out in the ring. Some of the counters and reversals in this match were absolutely insane. The near falls were so believable. This match will have you on the edge of your seat for the whole time. And then at the end, Bryan hit a running knee hard in John Cena's face, and Cena took it like a champ, straight in the face, and he lost. Daniel Bryan pinned John Cena for the championship. Imagine telling someone this in 2008, or imagine going back to 2003 and telling Daniel Bryan, hey, John Cena is going to become one of the biggest stars in the company's history, and you're going to beat him at the main event of SummerSlam in 10 years for the championship. It was perfect. The fans went insane, and Cena put over Bryan clean in the middle of the ring, the right way. Daniel Bryan was ecstatic. Even the commentary was good for this match, and they were horrible during this time. Well, they still are. Daniel Bryan won the title with a brand new finisher, and if you want to make your finisher seem legit, what better way to do it than by beating John Cena? And the finisher, John Cena took it like a champ. He had a black eye the next day, his face was all messed up, and he sold it like a champ as well. It looked like he died. Honestly, he probably did, because that was a hard knee to the face. The tiny indie wrestler for his whole career who was told that he was too small to be anything in the WWE just beat Superman. You gotta give credit for John Cena for his performance as well. Not only is it one of the best matches of his career, but he had an arm that needed surgery the next day. And somehow he went out there and had a great match for 27 minutes. He could have easily been like, you know what, Bryan, we'll have a decent 10-minute match, I'll lose and we'll get it over with. But no, he wanted to put Bryan over, and he wanted to do it the right way. And then the emotional moment was when Bryan looked into the camera to thank his mom and dad. This was such an amazing moment because Bryan's dad sadly passed away in 2014, so now it means so much more. It was a storybook ending. But the thing is, us fans didn't know that this wasn't the ending. This was chapter 1. Randy Orton came out with his Money in the Bank, and Triple H, the man who was there to make sure the match went safe and fair, turned on Bryan and hit him with a pedigree. Orton walked in, cashed in his contract, and became the champion. Daniel Bryan's reign lasted minutes before it was over. But ladies and gentlemen, this just made Bryan even more popular, even more big. His quest to become the champion once again would continue, and would become one of the greatest storylines in WWE history. One of the most memorable stretches in the company's history. The amount of hurdles he had to overcome was insane, but luckily it all worked out and we had one of the greatest stretches ever. His run to get the title was just amazing. He had the fans in the palm of his hands and everyone was so invested into it. It was just a time like no other. We hadn't been this invested in WWE for a long time up until this point. What a show and what an event. I won't forget SummerSlam 2013 ever. This show was just special. Is it the best SummerSlam of all time? In my opinion, probably not. However, this is definitely one of the most important shows of all time. It's one of the funnest and it's one of the most enjoyable. What more could you ask for? What I love about this show also is going in, the results were kind of predictable, yet they still had this amazing show, which shows you that you don't need like twists and turns and swerves. Even though the results could be predictable, as long as it's enjoyable and it's booked well, the fans will love it. I will never forget watching this live. It was a show that I loved then, loved now. Shout out SummerSlam 2013. It was such a fun show. At the end of the day, what makes this show so special? It was the fans' real WrestleMania in 2013.